here in front of the home fans. It would certainly be quite an honor for them, as you have these 4 teams coming from various parts of the world. Obviously, the NBA G League's Austin Spurs would like to come out and win one for North America tonight. San Lorenzo, their chances already out, and Ike hoping to continue that tradition of Greek clubs winning this competition. Only the 2 other times that Greek teams have been in it, 1996 it was won by Panathinaikos, and 2013 it was won by Olympiakos. So Ike just 40 minutes away, but the question is, who will they go up against? So the Austin Spurs being introduced here to the audience here in the Karaoke One Arena. This is the place where the 2016 Olympics were played. A lot of big games, and these players excited about not only coming to Brazil, many of them coming here for the first time, but also getting a chance to play on this Olympic floor. It was the site of some amazing basketball, and that was about 2.5 years ago. Boy, time flies, doesn't it?
The head coach is Daniel Play. E agora vamos apresentar o time do Flamengo. Com a número 5, demolidor de gigantes, Davi Rossetti.
Well, we've seen the Austin Spurs be introduced here. Now it's the time of Flamengo. Franco Balbi, an Argentinian in this team. Jonathan Dos Santos, one of those up-and-coming young Brazil internationals. Also a couple of famous Brazil internationals from years gone by. Marquinhos, who you just watched go past, Marquinhos Souza, and we'll see Anderson Varejão, who played for Brazil not only at the 2012 Olympics, but at the 2006 FIBA Basketball World Cup, 2010 FIBA Basketball World Cup, and the 2014 FIBA Basketball World Cup. And he'll be hoping to also play at the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup. What a great story. Anderson Varejão, having had that long and successful career in the NBA, is continuing to play, and now playing here back in his homeland, and loving every minute of it. You'll see how he plays with so much enthusiasm. You see he embraces Dewan Blair of Austin Spurs. They went up against each other back in their NBA days, and always a fun time, actually, when you see Varejão out there. He's been such a joy to watch over the years. Not just a one-man team, no stretch of the imagination. This Flamengo team, you know, this is an opportunity for them to come out and get the trophy, get a trophy for this season. And it's so important for clubs when they can put some hardware, when they can put a trophy in that cabinet. They will be remembered forever. And Flamengo, again, back in 2014, they had just such a magical year, both in their domestic competition, but also winning this competition and the Liga de las Americas. So the teams are taking their team photos here before they go out and square off. Austin qualified for this by winning the G League last season. And we'll also get a look at the referees here. Last minute warm-ups, conversations, whatever. And got a good crew tonight. See Johan Rosso on the left there from France, Carsten Straube from Germany on the right, and Michael Weiland from Canada in the middle. You want to get active on this on the social media, it's hashtag Intercontinental Cup. And if you want to follow the action, go to FIBA.basketball, and you can find the Intercontinental Cup there. So the roster for Austin Spurs tonight: Maverick Rowan, Jeffrey Kobe, Richard Vader, Devin Bookert, Dimitri McCamey, Cameron Rundles, Jordan Green, Josh Hustis, Amida Brima, and DeJuan Blair. And they play for Coach Daniel Blake Ahern. And their starting five tonight will be Vader, McCamey, Jordan Green, Hustis, and Brima. If there's one thing I'll say about Brima, doing a lot of the prep work for this game, Brima is a shot blocker of the highest order, and Blake Ahern, Daniel Blake Ahern, is hoping to put on a show here tonight, further put Austin on the map. For Flamengo, David Rosetto, Franco Balbi, the point guard. From Argentina, Jonathan Dos Santos, Kevin Crescenzi, Derek Ramos, Marquinhos, Minero, all the way down to Virgao. And it'll be Balbi, Crescenzi, Marquinhos, Olivinha, who's outstanding, in Virgao. Olivinha playing in that team that won it back in 2014. Gustavo Conti, who you might recognize, served as an assistant coach for the Brazil national team in past tournaments, including at the 2016 Olympics. Well, Blake Ahern, just 34 years of age, and you can see Gustavo Conte is not too old either. .38 years old, Gustavo de Conte. So he's got 4 years on Blake Ahern. I remember Blake Ahern as his playing days. He was tough. He could put the ball in the basket. Played at Missouri State and had some time with his, had a long career, played all over the place. Tried to make it in the NBA, did have a spell there, played in the G League, played in China, played in Ukraine, played most recently in Puerto Rico and with Capitanes de Arecibo back in 2015, and Santa Cruz Warriors as well in 2015.
Em respeito aos 10 jovens atletas do Flamengo, vítima do acidente na semana passada.
We're going to have a minute of silence now for the victims of the fire at the Flamengo football training ground. Young players, 10 were killed tragically in that recent fire. So just an unspeakable tragedy. There are images appearing on the big screen overhead. They'll never be forgotten. Just a very sad time, really, for sports, but especially for Flamengo and the Flamengo club. So our condolences go to them and everybody who knew those fine young men. Well, just so many positive vibes emanating from Verjao. You can just see just the way he's also played for Brazil in the World Cup qualifiers. Just such a wonderful example and really an icon. And Brazil won an NBA title during his time with Cleveland. And now he's going to be going up here against Brima here in that opening tip and see if he can win it for his team. So it's Flamengo taking on Austin here in the second semifinal at the FIBA Intercontinental Cup. Well, good evening, folks. We are underway here in Rio de Janeiro. It's Flamengo winning the opening tip in their semifinal here against the Austin Spurs. And Verjao goes in and gets a taste of what Brima is known for, an immediate rejection from the Austin Spurs. Brima down low, passes it back outside, and it's Olivinha comes in for the rebound. And the first basket scored by the veteran Olivinha. And pulling up and answering for Austin, number 34, Josh Eustace. Now Marquinhos. Balbi, he's going to launch one from deep as well. And Brima had a good start. Now quickly into the corner, and the three-pointer off target by Jordan Green. Olivinha takes it down low. The follow no good by Verjao. He'll be upset with himself. Brima hands it off. And again, Eustace this time a little long off the back of the rim. Marquinhos on the baseline, short. Marquinhos had a spell in the NBA himself. And another long shot is good. This one from McCamey. So positive start here for Austin. Now Anderson Verjao dribbles it off his foot. McCamey, it goes behind the back to Brima, who just kind of turns and scores. A little bit of showtime already by McCamey. Marquinhos from deep, and that was off the back of the iron. Exploding up the court is Jordan Green, and Conti's going to call timeout. Boy, explosive start here for the Spurs. And it's time to wake up if you're Flamengo.
Movimento mais fácil, mais rápido. Polegar baixo aqui, ó. Vai embora o Anderson, Olívia, todo mundo aberto. Espaça todo mundo para.
I'm telling you, they want slow down, half court, grind it out. Keep playing with pace. The next time out, the first pick and roll, we're going to blitz it. All right? One time, the first pick and roll, we're going to blitz. Okay? Just the first one. Just the first one. If we get a walk-up.
Well, you can see Austin Spurs, they want to push it, and they want to push it as much as they can. They think Flamengo want to slow it down. Although you can't slow it down too much with a 24-second shot clock. But nevertheless, you get the point. As we saw with that last break by Green, Austin Spurs are keen to run. Ball will be bounced pass to Olivinha. Crescenzi has it. And good job by Verjao to bat it over to Balbi. Inside to Anderson Verjao. He's got to have some success tonight if Flamengo are going to win. Brima down low. Jordan Green takes it back outside. Bader back over to Green. Now Brima goes to work on Verjao. Beautiful bounce pass and the dunk by Josh Eustace. Well, this Austin team knows exactly what they want to do. They're passing it well, sharing the basketball. Here's Verjao. Gets inside. First two for Anderson Verjao. Eustace. Stepping out of bounds for the Spurs, so they turn it back over to Flamengo. Maverick Rowan is going to check into the ball game. Former North Carolina State Wolfpack, Maverick Rowan. Good shooter. And he goes, and again to Anderson Verjao in Brazil, the Brazil international. Bound and determined to get his offense going down low, get those high percentage looks. Following the instructions from Conte. Eustace from deep, off the front of the iron. Crescenzi hands it off to Balbi. And a foul called on Bader. Well, yeah. I can see why that call was made. He wrapped him up. Cameron Rundles, veteran, comes into the game. Number 27 for Austin Spurs. And Balbi misses with a pull-up jumper. Good reading of the back there by Crescenzi. Duane Blair making his first appearance. Pittsburgh native. Born and raised, played for the Pitt Panthers. Obviously, he's had a long career. Has some time in the NBA. Houston puts it up. And another one for him. Boy, he's a scorer, isn't he? Josh Houston. 6 points already. Now Marquinhos. Gets inside and draws the foul. Watch what he does when he takes his free throws, Marquinhos. All players have their rituals. His is probably a little more distinctive than most once he gets the ball. Derek Ramos is going to check in, provide some firepower. Good perimeter game. First one is good. Well, I take it back. He's changed his free throw motion. He used to kiss both wrists. Anyway, he goes 1 for 2, and Flamengo will maintain possession. "34 years of age, Marquinhos. Drafted back in 2006 by New Orleans. And the miss. And the rebound by Maverick Rowan. Now the ball turned over to Marquinhos. Ramos right off the bench. It's good. No, that was Franco Balbi, excuse me. Gets it back to a three-point game. Maverick Rowan gets it to Blair. Balbi with the board. Oh, right down the lane for the easy one. And Balbi cuts it now to a one-point game. Rowan pulls up. A little hard. David Nesbitt, who's come into the game, number 25, collects the rebound. And Marquinhos sprays the ball out to Balbi. Going to work. Gets inside. Another layup. Well, you got to say one thing about Flamengo. They are getting some high percentage shots. And Ahern calls timeout. Houston has the 6 points. Three from McCamey. But after a bright start, all of a sudden, this Austin Spurs team is losing.
TV's going down to get JG. We're hitting. Josh, you're coming over. Take him here, okay? Josh, you're here. TV, you're here, man.
Só corta quando tiver uma vantagem. Enquanto não tem vantagem, não corta, entendeu? Pique, repique, pique, repique. Enquanto não tiver vantagem, você não vai. Agora parado. Bloqueia parado. Parado, bloqueio. Olha só. Olha só. Um baixo, um baixo. O David vai fazer.
reach, and a foul called on Ramos coming out of the timeout. Green has it, gets it over to Maverick Rowan. And Rowan off target, Nesbitt with the board. And now it's Balby. Been pulling the strings on the comeback. Here he goes. Using a screen. Good! And the Argentinian drills another one. 2 of 3 from deep. He's got 10 points. Quick pass to Dewan Blair. This is with the reverse. Ramos pulls it up. Puts it up from deep and rattles in another one. First 3 of the game in the final minute of the first quarter. And boy, as good as Austin looked in that first few minutes, it's been all Flamengo ever since. Nesbitt. Attempt from Rundles, rims out. Balby, bounce pass. Oh, rejection from Jordan Green. Maverick Rowan. Green goes up and ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Austin ball. Boy, what a swat that was from Green at the other end. Jeffrey Kobe's checked into the game, number 6 for Austin. So it's also for Flamengo right now, it's Dos Santos Ramos Minero, who got blocked. Dos Santos and Balby. Dos Santos wears number 7. Played it out for Ako Petrovic in the World Cup qualifiers. Here it is, Green from the right. Oh, the ball just would not go down, but excellent play. Kobe picks up the loose ball, the offensive rebound, and Austin kind of stopped the rot there with that basket right at the end of the first quarter, but they trail Flamengo 20-15 here at the FIBA Intercontinental Cup in Rio de Janeiro. See the numbers. Flamengo, it was a bad start, but the three-point shot for them has been kind. Balby has 2 of those, and they lead it by 5 points. Here's some of the highlights. Franco Balby has, that was Olivinha. Balby has the 10 points. And this is Olivinha's only 2 of the game right at the start. McCamey drilled that shot. Here he is getting it back from Hustis. And it looked like it was going to be a early knockout punch the way this Austin Spurs team started. And it was a good timeout by Conti. Interesting, Brima was very effective guarding that low post initially. But then Anderson Verjao started going right at him and started having some more success. This is the play that forced the timeout from Conti. And then it was a different Flamengo team after the timeout. There was Verjao getting it down low and scoring, and then again, same play from a different angle. Then Balby started shaking and baking, scoring with that drive. And again, hit those 2 threes. So at the end of one, it's game on, folks. 20-15, Flamengo on top. And the pass down low, batted away by Nesbitt into the hands of Mineiro, and he gets it over to Ramos. And then he gets it back to Balbi. Mineiro. Three-pointers good from Derek Ramos. Two threes for him already. Now Green, Austin Spurs down by 8. And McCamey looked like he might have taken a Euro step there, and the foul was called. We're watching McCamey. He looks like he's really under control, doesn't he? He's got some slick moves out there. He had that behind-the-back pass early on in the game. Here's Marquinhos checking back into the game. Talk about Marquinhos. So from 2006 to 2008, he was with New Orleans and also the Oklahoma City Hornets. Then he was with the Tulsa 66ers. And then after that, he came back to Brazil. He's been with Flamengo since 2012. Free throw gets it back to a 7-point deficit. Pass, and Marquinhos fouled by Green. Could have had a three-point play opportunity had he made that. So we saw Marquinhos struggle on his first trip to the free throw line, where he was 1 of 2. And he sinks the first one this time. You can see why NBA clubs were interested in Marquinhos. He's got a nice, that's what they would say, a nice body, nice length, real score. And Verjao gets the swat. The ball saved in bounds. Bader has it. McCamey, they get it quickly over to Kobe. Marquinhos dribbling around up high. He's going to look for Verjao. No, he's going to pass it back out. Thought Nesbitt was going to be out on the wing. Nesbitt was cutting to the corner. Bader turns. Marquinhos into Nesbitt. Had good position, then missed the shot. Kobe rebounds it, gets it over to McCamey. Over to Kobe, and lays it up and in. A little more of that will do just fine for the Spurs. Got the ball up quickly. Rosetto in the game, number 5, the backup point guard for Flamengo. Marquinhos misses from deep. And then contact going for the rebound sends Brima down. And foul was called on Nesbitt. Kobe left open again. Green. Another possession. Marquinhos reaches in, knocks it away. Passes outside. Rossetto got it all the way inside. Passes to Verjao. And Verjao had it knocked away by Kobe. Now Bader lays it up and in. Easy deuce. First two for him. Eight points off turnovers for Flamengo, 4 for Austin. And this time Marquinhos scores and draws the foul. And a lot of what's working right now for Flamengo is going through Marquinhos. So if you're a fan of international basketball, and he makes that free throw, you go back to 2010, and Marquinhos almost led Brazil to a victory over the USA in Turkey. He had 16 points in their preliminary round meeting, and in a real thriller that game. I'll never forget it. In the Abdia Pechi, it was the USA won at 70-68 right at the death. Verjao turns, put up a rough shot. Maverick Rowan. Rowan on the baseline, misses everything. Marquinhos bounce pass to Verjao, holds onto it this time. Brima went up and still got the rejection. But a foul was called on Rowan. Monero back in the game. Also, Balby comes back, so that's probably not a welcome sight for Austin. Well, the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, it's a long history. Goes all the way back to 1965 when they had the trial event. And the last team from the Americas to win it was back in 1974 when the Maryland Terrapins played. And nice play by McCamey. Of course, that was John Lucas that played for that Maryland team. A great guard, played for Lefty Drizel. There's Balby. McCamey. And the push on Brima. That era of Maryland basketball is impressive. A lot of great basketball players went through College Park. But Maryland Terrapins, the last USA team to have won the Intercontinental Cup. That was a long time ago. Monero has bounced past just a little bit low to Verjao. That's the first time we've had an NBA-affiliated team here at the FIBA Intercontinental Cup. So this NBA G League getting an idea of how, well, we'll get an idea of how they fare against international competition, obviously, in a short series like this. It's very interesting to watch, isn't it? See how they cope. Bader gets another offensive rebound, misses. Pass outside, Dos Santos. Bader gets it over to, now Brima catches it down low. Well, Austin struggling to put the ball in the basket right now. Ballby turns, tries to bank it in as the shot clock was winding down. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Rundles, oh, the alley-oop jam to Brima. We knew it was only a matter of time before that happened. And Rossetto dribbling around. He's going to get a chance for a three-point play. Well, he took on Brima and lived to tell the tale. Look at this. This was Brima at the other end. Brima with the primer. And terrific pass by Rundles. He knew. Throw it up near the rim. His big fella could go up and grab it and dunk it. But right at the other end, Rossetto now has a chance to take the lead up to 9 points. And the biggest lead of the game has been 10 points for Flamengo. So it goes up to 9. Bader with a miss. Shot clock down to 5. Balbi, it's good. Well, we've seen that a lot in the first half. 3 3-pointers for Argentina's finest. And Blake Ahern wants to talk things over, the 34-year-old coach of Austin Spurs. And while they're getting it together, look at the players. Jordan Green talking with Hustis. And I think it's defensively is where they're having some issues. Three-point shot's been huge.
Caminha a jogada, vamos insistir mais nas jogadas.
5 of 10 for Flamengo.
Põe o Marquinhos para fazer isso e tentar voltar. Se não der...
The winner will face Ike. Ike, winner of the first game tonight. Came out and really laid the wood to San Lorenzo. They had a tough start, but they ended up pulling away and winning convincingly, 86-64. Whoever wins this game, that's going to be a tough opponent to overcome. Ike, they really look like they're hungry to get this Intercontinental Cup. Long way to go in this one, but right now, Flamengo having their way. And Austin Spurs, see if they can cut into that deficit here before halftime. Blair back in the game as well, number 45. Takes it down low, and he's fouled as he banks it in. The big fella, 29 years of age. Look at this. There's right at Marquinhos. And Mineiro fouls him and puts him on the line. Have to be happy as a coach when you see your team come out of a timeout, get a chance for a three-point play. First 3 points of the game for Blair, and it's back to a 9-point lead for the home team, Flamengo, the hosts of this FIBA Intercontinental Cup. Marquinhos going up against Justus, going to put it up from deep. And the ball goes off of Kobe, so it'll be Flamengo possession. Or no, it went off of Blair. Rajal re-enters the game, and Olivinha goes out. Here's Balby, the danger man. He's got the 3 threes. You've seen his range. He can hit the NBA three-pointer. Marquinhos can as well, and off the rim, nobody boxes out Mineiro as he goes up. Then not able to score over Kobe, who had his hands raised, fully extended. Blair with a little runner, trying to bank it in, and Verjao with the rebound. Oh, beautiful bounce pass, and Verjao just posted up Duan Blair. He just established position right underneath the basket. That was an easy one for Verjao. Houston's pass knocked away by Verjao. Rosetto now decides to hold it up inside the final minute of the first half. This Flamengo team, and another three-pointer for Mr. Balby. What a first half he's having. On fire, 4-6 from three-point range, and a 14-point lead for Flamengo. Kobe, big rebound, and hits the shot from the baseline. And Conti wants a timeout with 12 seconds to go. He wants to get a last look here, try to push that lead back up to 14, maybe 15.
frente. Fica mais alto. Derek no fundo, do mesmo lado. Do mesmo lado os dois. Anderson bate. Davi e Franco. Troca bloqueio. Avança. Derek e um backpick pro Marquinhos. Avança. Tenta aí 1 contra 1 e um backpick pro Marquinhos. Pro Marquinhos e pro fundo. Vocês.
10 seconds, finish the half out, all right? Let's go. Finish the half.
Communicate. One stop. Let's go. Long game.
Dancing on this.
That's the last 2 minutes of the game. Let's go, fellas. Stay
Go,
with
go.
So let's see what Flamengo have drawn up here at the end of the first half. Who knows? Maybe Austin can get a steal and go in for a layup. It's going to be Balby. He's got a little bit of time. Leans into it, puts it up left-handed. Are you kidding me? That is incredible. That just caps a remarkable first half for Balby. The ambidextrous Balby. Wow. 44-29 Flamengo in command here at the break. Wow, that takes your breath away, doesn't it? The three-point shot has been tremendous for Flamengo, and it's really been Franco Balbi wreaking havoc, including one of the left-handed variety right at the end of the first half. They've been able to put the ball in the basket. They've been able to run their offense. They've been passing it well. Austin Spurs, they wanted to get out and run, and it looked like they might be able to do that early on in the game, but Flamengo really have played the game the way they want to play it, and Balbi has provided some scoring that almost half their points and done it from long range. So as you watch the highlights here that'll be coming your way, we'll take a break and we'll be right back before the start of the second half.
Bela infiltração do Balde, 2 pontos mais para o Flamengo. Anderson Varejão, 2 pontos mais. Atenção, sinais loucos! Estátua, estátua! Solta o som, diretor. Todo mundo para nessa posição. Para lá. Estátua não se mexe. A melhor estátua vai levar o brinde. E eu acho que eu já sei. Vamos ver. Solta o som, DJ doido. Opa, Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Opa, Gangnam Style. Segura o som, DJ doido. Eu queria pedir uma salva de palmas para vocês que estão aqui na arquibancada fazendo essa festa, ó. Todos vocês. Pessoal, vocês ficam do lado também. Muito obrigado pela presença. Flamanguaça, todo mundo. Pessoal, há pedidos. Só quem tá feliz. Vamos cantar numa voz só. Todos nós. Só quem tá feliz. Vem com a gente, solta o som, DJ doido.
Eu vou cortar, se o cara vai ajudar, você entra nas costas. Tá. Eu não vou cortar, o garrafão tá assim, eu tenho que fazer ele. Eu tenho que voltar pra trás. Seu cara vai ajudar, mano? Já coloquei ele mesmo. Eu entendi. Principalmente quando ele faz fundo. Então eu tô tentando entrar. Mas só pra lá fora, eu
No, man.
I mean, you can sit here and say, but we ain't scoring that bitch either.
We gotta get a shot. Move the ball. We gotta move the ball. Yo. That's it. Sticking on one side.
They don't want to play defense.
Move the ball. And play defense, bro.
You should get on a free ball. Keep going under.
Yeah.
You gotta go over.
You gotta go over.
Go over and read it if you have to.
What we doing?
Get one on top.
That's it. That's
44-29, Flamengo on top of Austin Spurs at halftime here in the Karaoke 1 on the in the second semifinal of the FIBA Intercontinental Cup. The winner will advance to play in Sunday's final against Ike who were 86-64 winners earlier tonight in the first game against San Lorenzo from Argentina. So will we see a recovery here of sorts from this Austin Spurs team in the second half? Or might we see Flamengo keep the pressure on, maybe even pull away for a big win? No shortage of coaches over there looking the part for Austin Spurs, but the pressure really on Ahern and those players who they've got to get it together and figure out how they could be much more disruptive defensively against this Flamengo team that put 44 points on the board. But on the other hand, with Balbi striking from downtown from three-point range on 5 occasions, that last three-pointer, probably the play of the first half. 5 of 7 from three-point range, Franco Balbi. Thus far, that has to be the best half of basketball for a player, purely from an offensive standpoint, that we've seen here in the Intercontinental Cup. But it's a 40-minute game, folks. Don't go away. There's Balbi. Wants to lead Flamengo to their second title in this competition, which they also hosted and won back 5 years ago, 2014, when they beat Maccabi Tel Aviv. So the European teams obviously carry a big name when they cross the Atlantic to come over in here and play, but Flamengo have already shown in the past that they can stand toe-to-toe with them and beat them. But first, they've got to knock off this Austin Spurs team from the NBA G League. G League winners last year. So Ramos is actually going to start here in the second half, and Balbi has it. Nesbitt as well, and good defense down low. Steal. That was McCamey with the steal. Was indeed. Eustace pulls up and hits the jump shot. He started well tonight. Had 6 points early on, so now he's got 8. Ramos bounce pass to Verjao, back outside to Ramos. He can hit it all day, folks. That's like a layup drill for him. 3 of 3 from deep. McCamey, nice spin. Offensive foul. Caught him for the hook. Yep. Seventh turnover by Austin. Now Marquinhos. Verjao hands it back. Bounce pass and knocked away by Jordan Green, but then intercepted by Balbi. The new 24. Oh, what a pass from Balbi. And that'll send Verjao to the line for 2. And Verjao with the first one is good. Second one no good, and ball bounces off the rim and into the hands of McCamey. On the basket from Brima. Marquinhos for three, or inside the arc, excuse me, but the long jump shot. And it takes it up to 17 points, the advantage. Offensive or defensive rebound by Nesbitt, hands it off to Ramos. Ramos drives in. Now Bader. And Green's pass trying to get it down low to Brima. Has been knocked it away. And you can see Houston saying, shoot the basketball, you're open. Bader puts it up. It's not been a successful night from deep so far for Austin Spurs. What they've got to do is dig deep on this end and try to get themselves perhaps some points from their defense. Virgil spins, puts it up. Oh, he gets rejected. Brima just swats it. Look at this. That was a great block. Virgil was saying it was on the way down, but I don't think so. And now the ball, here's a chance for Houston. Picks it up, and he's going to go in for the two-handed jam. Flamengo have not delivered the knockout punch yet. Austin trying to hang around. Maybe those shots will start falling. Ramos. Over to Marquinhos. Good! The three-pointer. Well, they are patient. They are passing it around, and they're all hitting their threes now. McCamey drives in. Ramos. Bounce pass over to Balbi. Back over to Marquinhos. Good! Another one. Boy, was that beautiful or what? Balbi could have launched it, but you make the extra pass, and that's why. Marquinhos now with the hot hand himself, and concerned looks over there on the bench of the Austin Spurs. They are trailing by 21 points.
Spurs. Okay, we got to talk, got to communicate. We got two guys guarding one. We got to rotate. We're giving them spot-up shots. All right?
Na quanto? Na punho, entra mais para bloquear. Aproveita o Marquinhos esse momento, faz apunho. Vamos até o final. Bloqueia dentro, passa perto para chutar de novo. Apunho. Vamos!
But just the way this game started, you would have thought no way would Flamengo be leading by 21 points. 4 minutes and 16 seconds into the second half. But they've really executed well. They've been able to do what they want to do offensively. Their passing game has been majestic at times. And the shot-making skills of Austin have not come to the fore tonight, that's for sure. Here's Balbi. Marquinhos again. Good! Well, he just hit 1-3, and he was open for another one. 59-35. This game is starting to get out of hand. Flamengo laying the wood to the Spurs. Here's Brima, gets inside and draws the foul. It will go to the line. It's not that we haven't seen some good things from these Spurs players, especially Brima. But right now, Flamengo look comfortable. And Brima can't get it to go down. The former UConn Husky. 25 years of age, 6 points, 5 rebounds. And one thing that was interesting before, a lot of the players, whether they were coming from Greece, from Ike, whether they were coming from Austin, they said, it's going to be really interesting. We're going to play different styles of basketball. We're going to see different styles of basketball. And they certainly have. Look at this. Look at the passing and look at the rejection. Another one by Brima. Well, at least that's a positive. Look at this. They get it inside to Verjao. Pump fake. Goes down. Brima with the rebound. Kobe. Maverick Rowan. Eustace knocks it out. Booker getting his first minutes. Number 13. Eustace hands it off to Booker. Down to Brima. And he was fouled by Mineiro. When you talk about the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, the way some of the players and the names that have done so well in this competition over the years. And Maverick Rowan gets his, I think that's his first basket. It is indeed. The great Oscar Schmidt, who's in the Naismith Hall of Fame and the FIBA Basketball, or the FIBA Hall of Fame. With Santos for three. Obviously, Arvydas Sabonis, shown on this stage when he was playing. Lots of big-time players. We talked about John Lucas when he was at Maryland. Maverick Rowan missing from deep. Maverick Rowan comes up with it. Met before he crosses midcourt. Hands it off to Kobe. Eustace. And Booker shows his range, his first three-pointer. Got some real legends playing this competition. Talking about Epi, the legendary Epi of Spain. Played for Barcelona when they finished runners-up to Tracer Milano back in 1987. And Balby shows he's human, missing one from deep. Here he is again. His left-handed three-pointer at the buzzer. The halftime buzzer has already gone viral in the social media. Here's Olivinha for three. And with just under 12 minutes remaining in the game, you wonder if Austin have enough in the tank to get this thing going. I think they've got enough energy, but I'm not sure they have enough ideas. Kobe picks it up, shot clock down to 7. And Olivinha with the rebound. Oh, quick pass. Oh, and Dos Santos was blocked by Kobe, but fouled. Great look from Marquinhos. So Jonathan Dos Santos goes to the line. Four points the advantage. And I think that's the biggest lead of the game tonight. 5 points for Dos Santos. It is indeed their biggest lead of the game. So unless something drastic happens here, unless we see an incredible comeback from Austin Spurs, it's going to be Flamengo and Ike in the final. McCamey misses. And Flamengo in no rush. Give it off to Rosetto. Olivinha drills a three-pointer. Remember, he played in that team 5 years ago that won the title, the Intercontinental Cup. Rowan, his pass intercepted by Rosetto. And Rosetto races ahead. He gets blocked by a hustling Jordan Green, who then comes up with the ball. Back up to Rowan. Bader from the left corner. And Austin just can't knock in the three-pointer, not even at the third quarter buzzer. (67-40). Flamengo on top of Austin Spurs at the end of 3. Well, I mean, the first thing that jumps off the stat sheet at you are the three-pointers made. I mean, 13 of 22 for Flamengo. Just 2 have been made on the night by Austin Spurs, but you have to give credit to Flamengo for getting those threes. You know, a lot of them have been open threes. The way they're passing, you know, once they start going in, you get that confidence. That was a good block by Brima. Austin Spurs not able to call on Travis Trice. He was going to be here, one of their better players, but he was called into the USA squad ahead of the America's qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. USA have already qualified, but he's with that team now. It's quite an honor for him. but I'm not sure he would have made the difference in this scoreline. So fourth quarter action underway here at the Intercontinental Cup. Here in the Carioca 1, the Olympic Arena back in 2016. Hustis comes out, misses with his first shot. And again, that fast start by Austin Spurs, just a distant memory. It has been really since midway through that second quarter when Flamengo started to get the wind in their sails, and there's been no turning back by them. The 27-point margin is richly deserved. They shot it much better, that we talked about, from three-point range, but just overall their movement off the ball, their passing, they've been running their offense well. They've so many bounce passes. Look at this. Camey and Brundles. Ball goes out of bounds. Verjao over to Dos Santos. Well, he's got some. You can see why Coach Petrovic, Uncle Petrovic, the brother of the late Drazen Petrovic, who's the coach of this Brazil national team down here, thinks so highly of Dos Santos. That was Cameron Rundles. So he gets his first basket. Foul called. If you look at Flamengo, how many players they've had hit three-pointers tonight? We've had 5 players stroke it from deep, and not one of them is shooting less than the 3 of 7 of 42.86% of Marquinhos. I mean, they've all been hitting him. Dos Santos is 2 of 3. Olivinha has hit 1 of his 2. Ramos has hit all 3 of his shots from deep. Franco Balbi is 5 of 8. He was 5 of 7 at halftime. And Marquinhos is 3 of 7. Oh, nice turn behind the back, Rossetto. And good defense by Brima. Crescenzi is going to come back into the game for Dos Santos. And also Olivinha comes back in for Verjao. Excuse me, Mineiro comes in for Verjao. Olivinha was already out there. Brima catches it, but the charge. So right idea, but Crescenzi had the position established, the referee said. And some long looks over there on the faces of the Spurs. 70-42. Crescenzi and Brima. And Rundles with the pass goes off the hands of Brima. Ramos. Now down to Minero. Crescenzi has it blocked by Brima. Well, he might be pushing double digits tonight in the blocks department. And the pull-up bank, nice shot by Cameron Rundles. So Brima tonight has, seems like he has more than 4 blocks. I would have guessed 7. And there, catches it down low, turns and scores. The dump and the dunk. Dump and dunk. So Brima gets 2 back. But it is like a Mount Everest type of operation now, trying to climb to the top of this one with only 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Crescenzi, this is everything. Brima. Green picks up the ball, gets it over to Bader. Finally. Green with the reach and the foul. Three fouls on Green. Nesbitt back in the game. David Nesbitt. Ball turns over. No, Green gets it back. Dump down low, and Nesbitt scores. The Bahamian from the Bahamas. First 2 for him. Minero hits it from deep. Well, everybody from this Flamengo team tonight seems to be knocking down the 3-pointers. And if you're not familiar with Brazilian basketball, I mean, you're looking at one of the best teams over the years coming out. Flamengo, a lot of these guys have played at a very high level. And it's just been a long night at the office for the Austin Spurs coming down. It doesn't help when your shots aren't falling, when the other team's shots seem to all be falling. It's a well-organized Flamengo team, though. Ball be 19, Souza 17. I mean, you got to just say Franco Balbi tonight just laid the foundation for a big Flamengo win. I mean, he was just outstanding in that first half. Juan Blair back in the game. Juan Blair actually played for San Lorenzo, who played in the first semifinal tonight. Played for him a couple of months last year. Blair gets it inside, scores, banks in another one. Ramos, another three-pointer. What's been a three-point shooting parade tonight. Flamengo just ridiculous. 16 of 27 from three-point range. Blair again, scores down low. Bounce pass. So Ruan will go to the line, getting some minutes here at the end of the game. Mop-up duty. Nice bounce pass by Ramos. And the drive and the failure to get the rebound cost him as Nesbitt goes up and gets another two. Well, that was a foul, no doubt about it. And I mean, to suggest this game has gone according to plan for Conti and Flamengo would be an understatement of mammoth proportions. Ramos keeps adding to the tally. So technical foul called on Ahern, and not sure what he would have said that would have merited a technical this late in the game. But I guess if a referee doesn't like what he's hearing, he's got every right to call it. Three-pointer still will not go in for Cameron Rundles. I mean, it's too easy to say that one team is hitting their shots and the other one isn't. I mean, you have to appreciate how Flamengo run their offense. Look at this. And late in the game now for Austin Spurs, maybe the effort's not quite what it needs to be. Defending. Look at this. Fighting through that screen there. .3 lead for Flamengo. It has been one-way traffic really since midway through the second quarter. And three-pointer's good from Bader. Second one for him tonight. Bounce pass, and Ruan goes in, and the tip from Nesbitt. And that's not, you can't give that away if you're Spurs. You got to box out. There are three white shirts under there, but nobody put a body on Ruan. And rejected by Nesbitt. And the dump off the hands of Blair and out of bounds. And the tough part really for Austin Spurs is they're going to have to come out and play again on Sunday for third place. So they definitely don't want to go back home on the back of two losses. But if they don't come out ready to play San Lorenzo, that could happen. San Lorenzo's got some good ball players themselves. Pass to Blair, misses. So it has been an absolute thrashing by Flamengo tonight, delivered on the NBA G League's Austin Spurs. And it's just one game, but you have to say on this evidence, Flamengo certainly look a little bit better. They shake hands. Flamengo into the final. They will play Ike on Sunday. A chance to win a trophy in midseason. Flamengo win at 90-58 over Austin Spurs. Well, all smiles for Flamengo. They know they'll be playing for the FIBA Intercontinental Cup in this 4-team format. And that'll be on Sunday against Ike. They'll have time to watch how Ike played, look at their tape, come out, practice.